The North American Free Trade Agreement, which the United States implemented with Canada and Mexico in 1994, has benefited Americans substantially, according to U.S. government data. It has increased exports, expanded U.S. agriculture, improved environmental standards at home and abroad, and given Americans higher-paying jobs. Yet critics of free trade continue to assert the opposite, that NAFTA has resulted in fewer U.S. exports, cost American jobs, and jeopardized the environment. The data clearly refute these claims. The North American Free Trade Agreement has helped boost interregional trade between Canada, Mexico, and the United States, but has not generated the jobs and the deeper regional economic integration its advocates promised. Trade relations have broadened substantially, and the U.S. manufacturers created supply chains across North America that have made companies more globally competitive. These factors may have stimulated economic growth, Canada at the fastest and Mexico at the slowest. But economics still debate NAFTA's direct impact given that many other economic forces at play and the possibility that trade liberalization may have happened even without the agreement. Both advocates and critics of the treaty have lobbied for changes to NAFTA, but momentum has stalled and it is likely to be taken over by larger trade agreements under negotiation such as the Trans-Pacific Partnership and the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership. NAFTA is a trilateral free trade deal that came into force January 1, 1994, signed by President Bill Clinton, Mexican President Carlos Salinas, and Canadian Prime Minister Jean Chrétien. The central thrust of the agreement is to eliminate most tariffs on products traded among the United States, Mexico, and Canada. The terms of the agreement call for these tariffs to be phased out gradually, and the final aspects of the deal weren't fully implemented until January 1, 2008. The deal swept away import tariffs in several industries. Agriculture was a major focus, but tariffs also reduced on items like textiles and automobiles. NAFTA also implemented intellectual property protections, established dispute resolution mechanisms, and set up regional labor and environmental safeguards, though some critics now lobby for stronger measures on this front. It is difficult to determine causality between NAFTA's implementation and economic growth, and it is impossible to quantify the counterfactual, how trade policy might have liberalized without NAFTA. Intra-regional trade flows have increased significantly over the treaty's first 2 decades, from roughly $290 billion in 1993 to more than $1.1 trillion in 2012. Cross-border investment and travel have also surged. The United States trades more in goods and services with Mexico and Canada than it does with Japan, South Korea, Brazil, Russia, India, and China combined. Much of this growth has been due to increased trade between the United States and Mexico, where the trade balance, the difference between exports and imports, swung from $1.7 billion U.S. surplus in 1993 to $61.4 billion deficit in 2012.